Hey everybody. It is Saturday night and I am playing Weirdwood Manor. And I think I'm ready. I have not completed an entire game yet, but I'm ready to give at least my first impressions. I am in the middle of a game, but my blight is up really high, so I'm pretty likely to win pretty soon. Lose. Lose pretty soon. Uh this game it's fun. It's awesome looking board, as you can see. Um, this is the deluxe edition, so the components are really good. There's a player board. You've probably seen this. The dice and the pieces, wooden pieces for the deluxe edition. The acrylic standees, which are nice. Um, I'm playing Bailey Breyer and Sekhmet Safar. And the game's going rough so far. There's the Chaos Ogre over there next to Sekhmet, and he is rough. So let's talk about this game. First of all, I'm going to warn you right now that it's very punishing to a new player. If you don't already understand strategy on this game, or even, look at all these actions, and these rooms, some of them are blighted, so you can't even see what actions you can do there. That's a lot of actions to choose from, and we'll get into my opinion on that later. But when you first start out, I had still having major analysis paralysis for each time it's their turn. I look and I read and I think and I think and I read and I look, and then I decide, and then I realize, oh, I can't get to that room this turn because it's blocked off, because these things turn and block off rooms. This is the time counter, and once it turns, when you play a card, you have to turn it to day, night, whatever, and it will block off various rooms. So there's a lot going on, and at first you're going to be kind of lost, and don't expect to win your first game. Although I have heard a few people say they have. You may be way swifter than I am, and maybe you can, but no way I was gonna win the first time I played it, or probably the fourth time I play it. Eventually, I might. Um, but that brings me to let's look a little bit at the components. This is another one of the villains. I'm playing the Chaos Ogre, and his board is over here. He's kind of the beginning guy, although he's pretty rough too. This is Theris. That's a cool looking board. And this is the Minrath. And that's the only three villains you get with it. I think that'll be enough to keep me busy for quite a while. And these are the other players that all have special abilities. Wally, see, Wally is the thief. He doesn't get hit dice, or he steals dice from people. I don't know. I think that's him. Eugene and Celia, and then there's again Sekhmet and Bailey Breyer. I think there's plenty of variety here, especially and there are extra of these rooms that do other things that are still in the box. They're a little more advanced, and you can rearrange these any way you want to for any game. My thought is, why in the world would you do that to yourself? Because that, to me, that's how I feel when I walk in Walmart and they have completely rearranged the store. I hate it. So I'm likely, at least for a very long time, to put them all in the same order every time, because I have a hard enough time remembering all the actions and what's available without having to hunt for them all over the board. But that's just me. Uh, it's it's really hard to start this game because, again, you don't really quite know what you're doing. You don't know what to do to strategize. So you're kind of just throwing things out there and trying things, and there's like about five things you need to do all at once. You need to gain some resources, which are these men and power tokens and knowledge and scarabs to do anything. So you go around trying to do that. In the meantime, at the end of every turn, the ogre takes a turn, and it's always disastrous, and it often spreads out more of these scarabs on the board, which blights rooms, which means they turn over, which means they go up on the track, and if you get eight blighted rooms, you've lost the game. So you're also needing to run around and unblight rooms, kill scarabs. You need to rescue Lady Weirdwood, who starts out in the middle, surrounded by scarabs. You got to get her out of there quickly because the ogre goes right for her. It's hard. It's hard. And these companions can help you, but you got to get enough resources and get the time to get up there and get them. So yeah, it's real challenging. And when you've gone through your cards and used up all your day spaces, you have to do a scarab phase where a bunch more of those little scarabs come out on the board and blight some more rooms. It's hard. This game is hard for me. Which brings me to now. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good game, and I recommend it. But I'm going to tell you that I'm not buying another game like this anymore because I've decided I know, see, I just finished like months of learning Gathering Gloom. It was the same deal where it had all these spaces with different actions you could go to. Here's my objection to that. You read the rule book and you learn all the rules and all the rules. And so you sit down and you're like, okay, I think I got the rules and you're ready to play. And then you hit a brick wall because you don't have all the actions memorized. So, and in there was quite a few actions. In this game, there's way more. So you've got 3 rings worth of rooms, and each one of those rooms does a different thing. And so basically, in order to really strategize, you need to kind of memorize what all your action choices are. To me, that's hard because it's hard enough to read all the rules and get it all ready. And then I feel like, have you ever tried to drive your car down the street with the emergency brake on? That's kind of how it feels. You get ready and you're like, okay, I'm ready to play. And you just want to play a game. And you're just like, halt, look in the rule book. Halt, look in the rule book. Halt, what else could I do? This game was really bad for that. If you don't mind that, that's great. And I don't mind having a few games like that, but I'm not going to get any more. A couple of them is fine for me. That's I don't. I guess I'm getting old, but I just don't want to work that hard at it anymore. So, but that's only my opinion. That is not based on the legitimacy of the game. The game is great. I just all these decisions to make, all these actions to choose from is a little much for me. I just don't want to work that hard anymore at it. So I'm not going to be buying any more games like this, but I do. This is a great one, and that board. How could you not love that board? Um. Anyway, but I do have one more complaint about this game, and it's nothing to do with how you play it. You see this? I had to use this for almost everything in this game, including reading every word in the rule book. This game, well, I don't know. This print is really small, and it's not that thick and dark. If you're going to make small print, at least you got to have a thick, very dark font. And this just isn't, and I don't know if you can tell in here, but to me, I had to really struggle to read the rule book. The stuff on the board is okay. It could be a little bit bigger, but it's okay. That wasn't really the problem. And these big cards were okay. Yeah, these cards are okay. But here's my gripe. There's all this iconography, and you have to keep looking at the rule book. This is the thing in the rule book and it's so small. And I tried to print it out from BGG and make it bigger, and then it lost all, resolution, and I couldn't read it. So there was really no way to fix it. And another thing is this page that I printed out with all the rooms on it. I kind of wanted to study that to memorize all my actions. So small. And it's like a curly, thin little font. I had a very hard time. And it made the game that much extra hard to learn. Sorry, but I know I'm old. But, there's people with bad eyes that aren't old. So it's not just me. And then the worst was this, your little reference card here. They made it blue print on blue background. And tiny, 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 tiny print. I can't even read it. I have to get the magnifying glass out to read it. For sure. So that was a real gripe for me on this game. I realized that, you got to get so much information into the rule book. And I thought it was really cool how those of us who backed this got our name in it. My name's in here. But I would have rather given up those pages and had more room to make things bigger so that I could read them more easily. That was just a real gripe about this game. It kind of made me angry. You got to think about who's reading it and make it work. Anyway, again, that's no reflection on the play of the game. It's fun. I think, if you like this kind of game where you're working together with all these different powers and different actions all over the board, you're going to love it. It's awesome. And I am going to work on it for a while. I guess, I'm maybe a little tired of coming off of months of Learning Gathering Gloom, which was a similar kind of game. So when I set this up and stuff, I wasn't expecting to go right into the same kind of game, but it did. So when I get done playing with this one, I'm going to put it away and get out a few simpler things, I think. But anyway, it is good fun. Lots of good working together. I think this is probably the best I've seen of a cooperative game that allows you to really work together. There's things that you can do on your board, like Sekhmet can do on the other player's turn to help them. Even if it's not her turn, she can spend some of her resources to use some of her powers to help Bailey with things. And that's cool. I don't see quite that much cooperation in a lot of games. Some of them, yeah, but I'm enjoying that. So it is a good game. I recommend it. Just get out your magnifying glass if you're going to need it. Anyway, I hope everybody is having a good time and playing lots of games. I'm probably about to die here. I think I'm going to shut it down for tonight and come back fresh in the morning and see if I can somehow run around and unblight some rooms. I kind of got a little ambitious and went after the Chaos Ogre, and I did get 3 hits against him. But it cost me dearly, and I probably should have fought scarabs for a while first. But this is the thing with this one. You kind of learn by trial and error. This is the 3rd time I've attempted to play it. The other 2 times, I just immediately got myself in horrible situations I couldn't get out of and gave up and reset it up. So I hope I can at least finish this one. But anyway, this is Weirdwood Manor, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Thanks.